HOA Karen called the cops after her racist son stole my groceries, not knowing I'm the police chief. Have you ever had someone steal from you and then call the cops on you when you ask for it back? Now ask yourself, what happens when that person doesn't realize you're the police chief? I'm Chief Daniel Avery of Westbrook Township, and this story still makes my blood simmer and my neighbors cheer every time it's told. What started as a petty theft turned into a full-blown expose on racism, abuse of power, and poetic justice delivered with the weight of the badge I've earned over 28 years. It started on a Sunday afternoon. I just wrapped a morning patrol ride along with one of our new recruits and decided to stop by our local veteran-run grocer to pick up a few things before heading home. I was off duty. Hoodie, joggers, badge off. No one special, just a guy getting eggs, meat, and a six-pack of ginger ale. The bags were heavy, so I parked outside my place, right on Rosewood Drive. We've lived there almost 9 years now. And while I've had a few unpleasant run-ins with the HOA over lawn colors and driveway width, nothing prepared me for this. As I stepped out of the house to grab the last 2 grocery bags from the bed of my truck, they were gone. At first, I thought maybe I dropped them. Then I saw movement 3 driveways down a lanky teenage boy in cargo shorts and a MAGA hat darting across his yard with my grocery bags in hand. I knew who he was. His name was Brett, 17. Local troublemaker, and the son of Karen Mulrooney, Ridge Hill HOA president, and human embodiment of a screeching eagle with a grudge. I called out, "Hey, bring those back." He turned, smirked, and said, "Didn't know these belonged to anyone." Then he strutted inside his house. I walked after him, calm but firm. Knocked twice. Karen answered the door, her mouth already twisted with suspicion. Her floral blouse looked like it hadn't fit since 2008, and her lipstick bled into the creases of her perpetual scowl. "Yes," she snapped. "Hi," I said, keeping my tone easy. "Your son just took my groceries out of my truck. I'd like them back, please." She narrowed her eyes. "Do you live here?" "Yes," I said, pointing 2 houses down. "Right there. For 9 years." Her eyes flicked to my skin, then back to my face. "I'm calling the police," she snapped. My eyebrows rose. "You're what?" "You're threatening a minor. You're on my property. I don't know who you are, and your tone is aggressive." I didn't move. "Ma'am, I just want my food back." She already had her phone out. 911. "Yes, there's a black man threatening my son on our doorstep. He says we stole something, but we didn't." The operator, bless her, was one of mine. She recognized my street. She also recognized my voice when I spoke up. "This is Chief Avery. I'm standing calmly on Rosewood. We've got a neighbor issue. Please dispatch a unit for record, but no emergency response is needed." Karen froze. "What?" she gasped. I stepped back from her porch. "You heard me." Her face turned the color of boiled crab meat. You're the chief?" "Yes. And you just filed a false report on an officer. Over groceries your son stole." Her son appeared behind her with a bag of frozen vegetables, wide-eyed and clueless. "I didn't know it was his." Karen shrieked, "Go back inside, Brett." But it was too late. A crowd had already started gathering. Neighbors were walking out, some holding phones, others whispering. One of them, Janice from across the cul-de-sac, muttered, "Oh boy, she picked the wrong guy this time." And here comes twist number 1. One of the neighbors filming was the HOA vice president, a woman named Leah Castillohode, been quietly documenting Karen's abuses of power for months. Twist number 2. Karen wasn't just HOA president. She'd been funneling HOA funds into private security projects that had nothing to do with community safety. Leah had proof. Karen tried to backpedal. "We can settle this privately. I didn't know who you were." I crossed my arms. "Shouldn't matter who I am. You accused me of threatening your son. You called the police based on skin and groceries. And I have everything on body cam because I never take it off." Karen's mouth moved like she was chewing on panic. Her hand, still holding the phone, slowly dropped to her side as realization set into his wasn't going to end like her usual HOA hissy fits. This wasn't some bark demand about mailbox height or patio chair colors. She had called 911 on the police chief and fabricated a threat that never happened, all while her teenage son clutched a bag of my frozen peas like it was a trophy. The first patrol car pulled in within minutes. Officer Daniels stepped out, eyes immediately locking with mine. His confusion faded into something colder when I gestured subtly toward the situation. "Evening, Chief. Everything all right here?" "Depends who you ask, officer." I turned to Karen. "This is the part where you explain to Officer Daniels why you made a false emergency call." Karen stammered, her voice a whisper now. "I didn't know you were in law enforcement." "That's not the point," I said. "You saw a black man on your porch and panicked. You lied. You escalated. You attempted to criminalize me to cover your son's theft." Karen tried to laugh it off. "It was just a misunderstanding." "No, it wasn't," Daniels cut in. "You told dispatch there was a threat. That's a felony-level misuse of emergency services." Her face turned waxy. "Can't we just look? I'll return the groceries." "Not enough," I said. And it wasn't just me saying it anymore. Neighbors began coming forward. One woman raised her phone. "Karen's done this before." Another, a teenager from down the block, said she accused my brother of loitering because he sat on our front step eating ice cream. Leah, the HOA vice president, walked across the lawn, binder in hand. "I've compiled 9 months of misconduct to unauthorized fines, selective code enforcement, personal use of HOA funds." All signed by Karen. Karen's knees gave out, and she collapsed on her porch step. That week, it all unraveled. Leah submitted the dossier to the county. The HOA board convened an emergency meeting and voted Karen out unanimously publicly, with a statement read over a loudspeaker at the community center lawn. The crowd clapped. Karen didn't show. Turns out, she'd been siphoning $8,400 into a private Venmo account labeled Community Patrol that funded a bunch of motion lights and fake surveillance cameras, all aimed conveniently at homes owned by families of color. She was fined $12,000, banned from holding HOA office in the state for life, and ordered to write a formal apology to me, my family, and the community she weaponized against itself. That letter? Printed, framed, and now hangs in the community clubhouse lobby under the title, "The Day HOA Power Collapsed." But it didn't end there. The town voted to dissolve the Ridge Hill HOA entirely. It was replaced with a new community council led by Leah, Janice, and 2 local teens who now run the Safe Streets and Equity Committee. Karen's house went up for sale 2 months later. Quiet listing. No goodbye party. And Brett? He showed up on my porch one morning with a box of groceries and a note that said, "Sorry. I know better now." He looked me in the eye. No lies. Just shame and a hint of humility. I nodded and told him one thing. Learning's only useful if you use it. He left with tears in his eyes. Now, every year, on the anniversary of the incident, we host a block party. Open grill. Shared tables. Music and laughter and no fear. No codes. No fines. Just neighbors. We call it Community Day. So now I ask you, true or false? Calling 911 on your neighbor over groceries won't backfire if he's black and also the police chief? The end.